Hey guys, welcome to my channel. What is it about turning the camera on and all of a sudden you can't talk at all? So I may screw up a few times here, but I'm not going to edit this. Um, what we're going over here is auction market theory. And in order for me to kind of go over this, I have to go into another topic where I'm using volume profiles to find areas of interest that I want to look for a trade. And the auction market theory is basically price is looking for value. It's either finding an area of value or it's leaving an area of value looking for a new value. And what this provides is areas that, or your levels, and it's your areas of interest that you want to look for a trade there. How you come about to make that trade there, that's a whole nother subject. But at least this gives you areas of focus to where I want to pay attention to price here, and I don't want to pay attention where price is now. And for this example, we can go ahead and jump into ES right here. What I'm going to do is turn on the volume profiles for each individual day and turn off the individual candles. We can go over here to where ES is right now. And I'm going to go ahead and start to set this up to where I would prepare to trade this in a kind of in a back testing scenario to give you the idea of what kind of process that I'm doing here. What we have is we have three balance areas that have overlapping value. So if I go over here and look at this value right here, it overlaps this one. The following day, this one overlaps with this one. So these three, and I use a rule of three, I have to have 3 days that have overlapping value to create a balance area. Here is an area that I would say we were out of balance, or we never had a balance, but this value here is not connected to this balance. So what I do is I draw a box around this value area. Turn it off. To signify that that's a balance area. The next thing that I do is I have a set of fibs set up that I call rotations, and I'll show you that in a second here. So I have this one right here, it's called 50-50. And what this is basically it gives me the low of the balance area, the high of the balance area, and what I call the midline. When I'm inside this box, now I can go ahead and delete this. When I'm inside this box, we're inside balance. And what I want to look for now is I want to look for either trades coming from the middle to the edges, or look for trades from the edges as a mean reversion back to the middle, or if we get outside the edges to start working towards these rotations. And the rotations, actually I have the wrong, that's that one, that's right. Why does that look so tight? Yeah, that is not correct. We want balance area, that's where we go, there we go. See, camera. Um, so what this is showing you, basically, if I draw a box around this again, and I make a clone of this box and move it, it's showing you the rotations outside of this balance area. So I have a 50% line right here, and then one full rotation is here, and vice versa down below. It's basically, equal size move rotations, and obviously doesn't move that smoothly, but you'd be surprised how many times this actually does work. So the next thing I want to do is go over here and go ahead and turn on the candles, go to a 15-minute. And I want to mark the days where the new day starts for futures. Not RTH, I'm talking about the actual days for the whole entire extended hours, which is 1700 for me central. That way we can kind of get you can get a feel what I'm looking for and what I'm doing day to day with these levels. And we have a Sunday. This should give us enough to go over and get you the idea of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go over here to replay. So we have this balance area right now set up. We have a new day about to start. And we're going to go ahead and push play. So we closed basically in balance right in the midline. If we open on this midline, we want to look for price to move away or get. It's actually really difficult to do the from the middle trade. I'll put it that way. If you're new to this type of trading or having difficulty with entries, I would definitely look for the trades that are on the edges of the balance area, going back to the middle, or look for the move outside the balance. I prefer actually to always try the mean reversion first, and since the market consolidates 70% of the time anyways. But let's go ahead and push play. I'll slow this down. So we open, we're above the midline. Volume is accumulating above here. Now prices came down. We're testing this volume POC. There's the RTH open. Oh no, that's London open. You can see the price action going a little quicker. So if you were up in the pre-market, you can see prices touched the midline now 2 times in a row, now a 3rd time right at the open. So this is telling me that right now this is a valid support or resistance level right now. So I want to look for a trade against this. Right now, this candle is an important candle to me at the open. Now, if we break this candle, you want to get short and go for the balance area low, which is this line right here. There she goes. Now, you do the mean reversion trade. So we go ahead and push this over here. And this is on a 15-minute time frame. Let's go to entry, that way you can see it. And see how this one plays. So I want to see a breakout of this candle, retest this line, and take it back to the middle. That was a loss. Can't always have winners. So now the candle that I'm looking at right now is this one right here. Actually, let me make this bigger for everybody. This candle right here. And by the way, this is what I call a Liz setup. It's basically the pattern is this. Some people call it harmonics, but it's this line right here is the Liz level. So you're looking for this candle to make the low, which is this candle right here. That candle is my Liz candle. So I want to see price go above it and close above it, and then revisit, and then take the trade long. Let's go ahead and push play. So price took off. Never got the retest yet. Let's go ahead and it might take off without us. Yep. So far it's taken off without us. So this level is a valid support level. Go ahead and watch it into the next following day. Actually, pause, hold on. Since we completed this day, now we have to revisit our balance area. So I'm going to go over to the daily. Sorry, I'm going to get everyone a little motion sickness here probably. Turn off the candles just so it's easier to see. So this candle right here, or this volume profile went outside the balance area right now. So what I have to do, since I do have overlapping value with this one, my balance area just got expanded a little bit. So I pull this down, and now my boundary is a little bit bigger, and now it puts that level that I was interested in a little bit higher. So this is my new balance area. Let's go back over the 15-minute. And push play. Oh, it's so close. It got so close to that, but it's actually going off of this consolidation block. So that's something I wanted to bring up as well, is that these levels, they can be very accurate, but we're talking about a daily time frame level, and you can have these variances. So you're looking at this just simple candlestick technical analysis, you can see that support there is what's really, and it might be on a higher time frame. Let's go to the 30-minute. Yep, see the 30-minute. 30-minute has the Liz candle right here. If you can see that. So that one right there. So if you did catch this on the 30-minute, what I typically do is a 2-to-1 risk reward. And it hit. And the other thing that I do is I leave half to 1/3 of my position to continue on as a runner to the next level. So I got my 2-to-1 risk, my 2-to-1 reward right here, and at least half to 2/3 of my trade is already in profit and accounted for. Now we move it up your second piece or your third of your position to the balance or the midline. And let's go ahead and push play. Oh, so you got stopped out of that. Well, you got 2/3, or you got half your position was in the money. And that's kind of the difficulty with runners. Let's go ahead and continue on. Oh, but there it goes. So they did the stop run on us, liquidity grab, whatever name you want to call it, and we went back to the midline. Let's see if that midline now acts as resistance or creates support to go all the way to the other side. Oh, we got a new day. So let's go ahead and pause this. And we can go ahead and delete that. So on this day, we don't have any changes to the balance area. Value did not go outside the balance area. We have overlapping values still. We are 100% in balance. So we can go back to the 15-minute. So let's put, just so we can keep track here. This one was plus 1R. Oh, and by the way, I put my stop to break even once I get my 2-to-1 risk ratio. So looking at the next day, we're back in the middle again. Difficult trade to try and go from the middle to the outside, but sometimes you can't be picky. Overnight's pretty flat. London's about to open. And that's one of my favorite setups right there. You see how price was respecting this 50%, the midline. You get the stop run below this swing support right, or this swing support right here, below this one. That one held. So had you been up that early, so we're on the 15-minute. Let's see what the 30-minute looks like. So this is a difficult one for Liz because this big candle here, let's see the 5-minute. Yeah, the 5-minute still has this candle. So this is really the setup would be to look at this candle here. Let's see how this plays out. By the way, actually I should mention we're not in this trade because it hasn't revisited this candle yet. Well, actually it did. It broke, closed above, came back down. I typically actually put my order in one tick above the candle. That way I make sure I get in on a limit and stopped out. Oop, there was the open. So RTH ran everyone's stops overnight, got that lower low, and then ripped up. So let's see if there was a trade here from RTH. No, we're still in pre-market. Almost, there we go. A few more candles. There's the open. Oh, that was the close of the day. Oh, it's Sunday. That's why. That was the close of the day. Oh, that's a holiday. That was Good Friday. Let's go ahead and fast forward through Sunday. And then that day was not going to change the balance area, so I don't have to worry about changing the balance areas. Let's go to RTH open. Still a valid level. So this goes into the acceptance of a balance area, or our rule number 2 over here. This is price basically has found value in this range, and this range right now that we are in is, let's measure that actually. $47 points, roughly 50 points. So there's plenty of range to be had. Let's go ahead and push play, see what RTH brings us. Oops, I had my little, no, it's not. So RTH, we open outside of value on a Monday. And let's go look at the bigger picture here. So this one was a negative 1R. The risk reward thing I'm doing here is basically the static risk reward. Say you only risk $100 or as close as you can be to $100 with each individual trade. Your reward minimum is, for me, is a 2-to-1, so it would make $200 for every trade. Makes it very quick and simple. I also like it because it keeps my risks the best way that I know possible in check. So right now we're opening RTH on a Monday outside of the value area or the balance. We have not broken this swing low though. We kind of have this little spot here where you can see you have this little bit thin line of support right here. Let's see how this plays out. So right now, being that we're outside of balance, I want to see this line right here either get price back inside balance, and we want to see price to move up and come down and then go up again, or we want to see it pull down through it, come back, retest, and then go down. Let's go ahead and push play. So we get that move, maybe not exactly perfectly on the level, but price did go, closed above, came back down, held this support, and pushed up. So if you wanted to take this trade, your long would have been, for me, on this candle right here, and you would have entered over here, risk reward 2-to-1, push play. Even got the double test again, off to 2R. Now your remaining position, let's see how that goes. Stopped out. So this is something that I've been playing with, the idea of not having any stop at all, just leaving the stop where it was, because if it's held that long, it's valid support. It is something that I have been backtesting, and everybody needs to backtest this. This is my idea, my trading process that I'm sharing with you, and unless you start doing it, you're not going to remember or not going to have the confidence and the belief that the system works. And there we go. There's 5.1. And that was a saying from Chris. Thank you. So now we have on this day a 5.1R trade. So let's just to keep this simple, let's just say this was a 3R, because half of it, let's say, was on 2R and the other half was on the 5R. So I'm just keeping it simple. I know you can do the exact math if you want to. So this is what I was talking about right here. So this is where it gets really difficult playing the middle line, but sometimes you can kind of see that pattern. You can see how it is acting kind of like a bear flag, might give you that impression, but that thrust that we had right here and then came down and retest basically this Liz setup right here. And this is what I call a Liz trendy. It also is an ABCD pattern. So you have the level here, you have the push up, and there's your ABCD pattern. I don't see a Liz on this time frame. This time frame is a good one, 10-minute. So if I went to the 10-minute right here, I could say this is the long. I would put my stop just underneath that level, and there's 2. And then let's see if we can get up all the way up to the balance area high, and the day is about to close. Nope. And by the way, I haven't backtested this section. I'm sure actually I have, but I don't remember all of this. So now I'm going to do is check my balance area levels, because now we have a new day and nothing has changed at all. We're inside the 2 levels. We have overlapping value between the days, so everything is fine and good there. Whoops. Let's go ahead and just say this one was a 2R. Because actually, I'll say that was 3R, because I close my trades out 11 minutes to close. Every trade. I don't swing overnight. If I really want to, I will reopen the position at the new day. So let's go into the new day, looking at our balance area now. So we're getting to this area up here that we haven't been to in a long time. So 4150 is the next level that we want to watch. Going into the day, we're going to watch the midline, which is the yellow. I'll move the yellow line here. We want to watch this level as support. Let's see how this plays. Actually, let's move this to Why isn't there? Let's go ahead and pull this over to RTH. Let's make this one not yellow. Everything's yellow. Orange, orangish. Go ahead and push play. Let's get to RTH. London. Yep. 1 hour into London's showing support or resistance already. Price is basically dancing around, creating an expanding pattern around the VPOC. Let's slow it down for RTH. There's our opening candle. Price is respecting the volume POC from the previous day, which is in turn respecting this as support. Price is at the balance area high. So now we are looking for the failed auction, which is basically this section right here. And I'm not going to go over all this. You guys can read this. But I'm basically just giving live examples here in the replay. So right now, on the 15-minute time frame in RTH, almost to the end of the day already, darn, you get the rejection right here at the balance area high. If we go to a 5-minute, let's see if we had a, looks like we had 2 Liz's and the first one failed. So I will attempt a short at one of these levels one time, and then the second time, actually, sorry, take that back. I will do 2 attempts at one level, and if I fail at both those attempts, I don't trade that level until it visits a different level. It's kind of my way of keeping myself in check and not over trading. So originally, this candle here was the Liz, this little doji, closed below, retested the low of that candle. So this was the original one that got stopped out by, looks like, a point or so. Then we have the another breakdown. So let's go and put -1. And I'm going to remove that just so it's out of the way. Then we have a new Liz candle, which is this one right here. And it looks like it went off without us because it never revisited this candle. So I'm going to go over here to the 10-minute, and the 10-minute took off without us. We might not get an entry in this one, which is another conversation too. It's a more aggressive way to do this, is to place your your sell stop right there. So when this candle breaks this low, it takes you with the momentum, and normally they result in very quick trades, and your target would be 2R plus then to this volume POC, but that's a whole nother conversation. Let's go ahead and push play, see where it goes, see if we get the retest. Nope, never comes back, and we're about to end the day. So end of that day, within the balance area, we got the failed auction high, and we go back to our daily chart. Nothing has changed again. We're still inside balance. We have overlapping value. Everything looks normal. Yeah, we're stuck in the middle. So basically just playing games around this midline. So I'm gonna go back over here to the 15-minute. And let's move this to RTH. Are we on a Sunday? That's a Tuesday. Push play. And I'm gonna clean this up too. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this one. So we have the new day. Right now, this is a naked POC. So this is an untested level by price. It came close. So this is a naked POC, which I have way too, I have way too many names of things here, don't I? Naked puck. So this is an area of interest. If the naked POC is basically just, it's going to be a target for other traders. It's something that I pay attention to. It's a high volume node. When you're looking at the larger time frame volume profiles, it's something to pay attention to. So right now, if I was going to take a short up in this area, say like this somewhere over here, you know, the kind of the head and shoulders look. Actually, let's put an actual box up there. Let's say this zone right here is where I want to look for my short. And then let's speed this up to RTH. Ooh, so news algo ripped right through it. Now, and we got the one rotation straight up, or that's the 50% rotation. So this line here is the 50% rotation, and this line here is the full one rotation of the balance area up. So we hit this one rotation up, which if you don't have levels above you in the balance areas, what you can use is these levels here, or these rotation levels, as basically rule number 2, or sorry, 3, when we go out of balance. So you're looking for price to leave outside of balance, which we are right now, and then accepting into a new balance. You want to see price hit that 50% line. So it hit the 50% line, which is good, but now it needs to hold this level here. And if we don't hold this level here on a higher time frame, we're having a failed auction yet. So just because we have this big thrust through it, this is a very high opportunity for a look above and fail, or a failed auction up on a daily time frame, frankly. So let's go ahead and push play as we get into RTH. Let's slow this down. So price is currently holding that level right now. So, and I say it's holding because it did not break this low. It's still holding that support. We are right in the middle of this value area, so that's not the greatest of signs. You know what, let's just see. So I actually want to short this. Let's just go long. I want to short it, but actually my memory serves me this was a failed auction, so I do remember this. So let's just see if you can get the long off of that on a 5-minute. Oh, that's almost. Let's just say we can get back to that, get that touch up there, and then short it. Nope. So price broke it. Now it's creating the failed auction process. This area now is going to be resistance. So go ahead and remove that. For games, just put -1R. And now I want to get short on this level here, on this candle. Let's see if we can get a revisit back up here. And I'm going to go ahead and look at the 10-minute. And that's, I would do the 10-minute. I want that short. I want that candle right there to be my stop. And then go down. Yeah, let's try that one. Play. Nope, took off without us. By the way, so this brings up a good thing. What I do here is that price took off without me. I didn't get the trade based on looking for a limit order retrace and then taking the trade down. Being that price already went back to the midline here, I don't take a setup when it comes back up here to this area. I'm looking for another Liz to set up over here. So I would actually like price to go maybe up here to grab these stops over here and then look for this Liz down. Got volume coming in there. There's the touch of that level. Can I go one? Oh crap, I went to real time. I screwed that up. Did I? Yeah, I just went to real time. Sorry about that. How do I get back there? Where were we? So that's where we were right there. Darn it, I was about to short that. Let's go ahead and just, that's where we were. So what I was looking at was that you have the reversal pattern here, the engulfing on the level that we were talking about. Didn't get the area that I wanted to up in this zone here, but can't get everything you want. But the pattern that I was looking at is those two candles, reversal or an engulfing pattern. So I want to see if price gets below this level. And if you want to be aggressive, put a sell stop right here. I would be cautious. I mean, I hate taking a short right here now, thinking about it right next to the VPOC, but the level's there. Let's see what happens. So you got that, we got the close beneath the level here. Then we have the retest of the level here. You get your entry many times over here. So we're definitely in this trade. And 2R is there. Risking 4 for 8.5. Oh, I wouldn't get stopped out on that because my stop is one tick above, by the way. But even it never went through it, so you might not have gotten taken out. But then it quickly ripped down and went down to 5R. So let's just say we got +3. And this day is almost over. I think you guys are understanding the idea behind this. So this is my strategy, the start of the strategy. I don't want to make this video too long. So basically we have 4, 7, 11, 9R over 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 days. So, I mean, if you're risking $100 and risking to make $200 at least, I mean, that's a pretty good week. And just sticking to a higher time frame. The auction market theory process gives you kind of the definitions how to encompass all of this, and where kind of like the context to what you're looking for. So right now we have this balance area that we're stuck in. Actually, it moved up with that move. So each one of these rules and stages go through the process, what you're expecting. And on a higher time frame, let's just say, let's go to this actually, daily, and let's remove. I wanted to get to this point as well. So on the higher time frame for the balance areas, this is a process that I do. So I'm looking at other areas that are of balance. So like this area over here is a balance area. And these areas act as basically, they're on a volume profile, they're HVNs. They're areas where price consolidated. And you can see that price is actually interacting with this balance area right here. and it's acting as resistance. So right now, you can actually see price almost went right to that midline, to this balance area right here. What I'm looking for now is if we break out of this balance, if we break out of this balance, it's actually going to go right there. And we're not going to go that far. If we go that far, then the next target is here. If we break down on the higher time frames, my targets are the naked POC. This one's not naked POC because it price overlapped, but this is a naked POC right here that I would target for a swing with options. And then this one down here is a naked POC. And the next thing that I look for is the next balance area. So right now we don't have a balance area until right here in this area right here. And this is where I can go down a rabbit hole because I don't know where to end the video. So this right here is a balance area that would be my biggest support that I would look for. So I draw these little lines, balance area high, and it lines up with that. See, and that's when you start doing this too, it's sometimes amazing how many times things line up. So you have a naked POC and support right here from this balance area. So that would be a great place to look for a trade if we get down there. And we have the balance area low. So this would be my high time frame right now. And I'll end the video on this part right here. These boxes here, they're not in balance to me because there's separation between these two volume profiles. So I kind of follow my own strict rule where if they disconnect, like such as down here, you lost the balance. So I have a balance box on these ones. Because these three are imbalanced, overlapping. Next day, we broke it. These days here, you can see the same thing. You have overlapping value. You don't have overlapping value. And then if we actually go to ES current day, let's go ahead and turn the replay off. Oh, look. Huh. See, I didn't have the replay on, and look at what happened. We actually did go exactly to that midline of this balance area. And so this is what is that, rule number? This one right here, rule number 4. So we left this balance area here, which I'll label, just put this one as pink. So we left this pink balance area here. We pushed up to the midline of this balance area here, and we went right to the POC, or the midline. It's just the 50% of the box. Held as resistance. Now we're going back into this balance area here, which is actually expanded over time. So this balance area is this big right now, and we have a break of balance right now, currently on April 22nd on a Saturday. We are actually, in my opinion, which I'm sure everyone else would say this is not correct, but to me, we are actually out of balance because we have a small separation. It is small, but it did held over 2 days now. This area right here, let's make that yellow, enlarge it. So that area there, we have a separation of the values. So right now, to me, ES is out of balance. So right now, my areas of concern right now going into next week, which would be the 24th of April, would be this 41, 45 level as basically my pivot going into next week. If we get below this 45 level, I want to target this balance area low, and then I want to take it down to these levels down here. This one I still would say would be an area of interest 81.50 down to 40, and then so on and so forth. But this is where you start using the rules and principles that are over here, using these balance area boxes to look for your next areas on a higher time frame. It's like my roadmap that gives me context to where I'm at in space and trade, where the trades are, where the price is leading us. And that's what I'll end this video with. Have a good day.